It's like, Duchess this, darling. That's what he's saying. You think you're a Duchess? Let everybody look at where the Duchess came from. Duchess this, darling. It's malicious. It's like, I mean, and the person who took the photograph, Caroline Graham, is also filled with malice. They did this to embarrass the Duchess. This doesn't embarrass Samantha Markle. This doesn't embarrass Thomas Markle Jr. because they don't care and nobody cares about them. Their father being photographed, naked from the shoulders up. They don't care. It's a comedy. It's a tragic comedy, right? They're laughing up their sleeves. This is supposed to Duchess this, darling. This is what this is. That you should caption this picture. Duchess this, darling. But here's the thing. I think this is a stunt that's going to backfire. And it's starting to backfire. We have someone named Jennie Bonds who, did I see this on Sussex? I don't remember where I saw it. It could have been on Brian's channel, but it could be someplace else where they were talking about Jennie Bonds, who, in no uncertain terms, defended Meghan's right to having boundaries. She talked about the fact that it is normal that, well, not normal, but it's well known that many families are very complicated, if not all families. Many families have estrangement issues, not just Jennie Bond. There were some other very interesting articles that were written in British publications, of all things. Because, yeah, I did look at another Sussex Squad family YouTuber. Don't ask me the name of it. I don't remember, but I did leave a comment where she was talking about British papers that are now coming to Meghan's defense and acknowledging that, family dynamics are very, very complicated. It's a very personal thing. Estrangement is real for millions of people. Millions of people don't have a relationship with various family members for decades sometimes, if not like permanently. To hold Meghan to a double standard or triple or quadruple standard that's different from all the rest of humanity is really not okay, you know? And so they're basically saying that, Meghan has a right to set boundaries for self-preservation, which is something I have said in maybe all of the videos I've made on this subject matter. And, now we have this situation, Jennie Bonds, and, her, going against the grain. I don't think they expected her to. Not only that, but she insisted that, Meghan's name is Meghan Sussex. She's a married woman, and her title has not yet been rescinded. So she's Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. And if you don't want to say the long name, it's Meghan Sussex, right? So it's very disrespectful to insist on calling her by her maiden name, especially the same people who are insisting that we all call, Kate Middleton the Princess of Wales, or Catherine, Princess of Wales, right? The double, triple, quadruple standard, once again, rearing its ugly head where Meghan is concerned. But the idea here is that I think this whole thing is going to backfire on Thomas Markle Jr., Sr., Daily Mail, and all the rest of them. Because once people start to really use their intelligence and their common sense and read between the lines, you will see that the timing here doesn't make sense, right? The time frame does not make sense, right? Somebody's lying somewhere about when all of this happened and how this happened, right? Starting with that article written by Caroline Graham in the Daily Mail. This contradicts Thomas Markle's video on YouTube about what happened, that he just suddenly saw this black and blueness in this big emergency. He did not. Caroline Graham is the one who was texted by this man, Thomas Markle Sr., to tell her, today's the day I'm going to chop my foot off. And she was in Los Angeles. She had enough time to get to the Philippines to sit 2 days, she says, 2 days at this man's bedside. And she is the one who informed Thomas Markle Jr. that daddy in the bedroom next to yours is having an issue with his leg. So the timing of this and how this all went down and this big emergency, etc., is not true. And it's going to backfire because if the media won't admit it, that this was a setup to try to ruin Meghan's Christmas series on Netflix and her Christmas holiday season period, but B, it was all about clickbait, on the part of the Daily Mail. This woman Graham, whoever I just said her name, whatever her name is that he called, Caroline Graham, and Thomas Markle Jr. and Sr. It was a whole thing that they put together to interject themselves, as I have said, into Meghan's life and embarrass her and make her look bad and make her look like she's not a compassionate daughter, and perhaps even, trick her into making a frantic flight to the Philippines, all for the dramatic effect of, the paparazzi shots and her trying to get into this hospital. Her father's probably no longer even in the hospital for all we know, right? But even if he is, the circus that they want to create at Meghan's expense, because they're going to be thousands of paparazzi pictures from all kinds of press all over the world once they hear that the Duchess is on her way by private jet or however to the Philippines. Thousands of paparazzi are going to be there outside that hospital taking all these unfortunate pictures. They're going to have all these different articles they're going to write, and their commentators on YouTube, from the Kinsey Schofields to the Dan Wootens and all these. I mean, a field day of negative reporting, all, at Meghan's expense after they trick her into rushing to the Philippines to see a father who really isn't having an emergency. He's having a health crisis, yes, brought on by many years of his own conduct, his own eating, lack of exercise, being overweight, etc. I mean, this is what happens. This is not an emergency. This is something that gradually occurred, and he had enough time in advance of the cutting of his legs to inform the media in Los Angeles and give her enough time, 24 hours, to fly to the Philippines to sit at his bedside and take these exploitative photographs. So I think as people start to think about it rationally, even some of those who hate Meghan, because there's some who hate her so much that it doesn't really matter what anybody does, they're going to say that the other people are right and Meghan is the bad person. But I mean, these types of people will have their day. They will have their day. Every dog has their day. And I hope when it's their turn that they will not expect anybody to have any compassion for them being taken advantage of by somebody else, because that's what's happening here. They're taking advantage of Meghan. They're using Meghan in a very malicious and evil way, and it really needs to stop.